Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski, I'm a Chief Analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is Daily Analytical Report. So half an hour video, half an hour webinar where I will tell you what's going on the markets from the both fundamental and technical point of view, and we'll try to look for decent trading occasions on the market. So let me start, and we will start with the macro calendar as always, because you need to know what is happening on the markets first, and you should be aware of the macro data being published. And sometimes when you look, for example, on the chart, even if you're a technical trader like myself, I have to check the calendar always because, for example, you have some movements which makes no sense on the chart, and then you will take a look on the calendar and you will see that that was an overnight reaction for retail sales, for example, in one of the countries. So that is why you always have to do that. Like, for example, here we do have retail sales data from Australia, which came much worse than expected. And it affected Australian dollar. The main information today is supposed to be monetary policy meeting accounts from ECB. But to be honest with you, it failed to entertain the markets. Well, we do have a downswing on euro, but it wasn't so influential as many expected. Apart from that, we're gonna have a lot of Fed talk today. Right, so we will have a speech from FOMC member Powell, Williams, Harker, and George. As you can see, very important time for American dollar in terms of hawkish, dovish comments from those FOMC members. And it's Thursday. Tomorrow we will have obviously Friday, and this is non-farm payrolls Friday, right? So tomorrow we have non-farm payrolls data, the most important for the markets, and we should see a huge market reaction. Again, from the fundamental point of view, overall, it's not much is happening. We have a decline on pound. It's connected to the speech of Theresa May. But there is a lot of technical analysis there in that drop as well. But I will show that in a second. Apart from that, mostly markets are focused on Catalonia, on Spain, but I guess it's just an easy explanation for the market. So in my opinion, just generally we don't have news which would have a very, very strong impact on the markets. So more or less we do have a very technical trading right now. So no, like the main market story for the traders, well, in my opinion. This is our first daily analytical report this week, and actually first in October, first this week, first in the last 3 weeks, because we were traveling to Philippines and Malaysia to give seminars, live seminars, and if we have any traders from those countries here, I would like to welcome you and thank you for those great 2 weeks that I spent in those two lovely countries. It was a real pleasure to be in Malaysia and Philippines, and I hope to come back there very, very soon. So that being said, let me show you charts. First, we'll start with this euro dollar. So euro dollar is having a correction. I don't think this correction has actually a shape. So it's not a wedge, it's not a flag, it's not a rectangle. Currently we did not even retrace 23.6 of the whole upswing. So this correction has actually no shape for me. It was caused this reversal from the technical point of view was caused by this head and shoulder pattern with the horizontal neckline created by shown by this yellow area. We do have this horizontal support here on 23.6. Okay, and as long as we stay above this blue area, the sentiment is positive. The sentiment is positive still, and only breakout of this area, this blue area, can trigger as a sell signal. Definitely not before that. Well, that being said, I think it's that's all about this instrument. It's not very interesting, to be honest with you. Well, I don't like euro dollar. I don't trade on euro dollar a lot. If we really have to make like a pattern from this, you can assume it's a flag. It's a wedge, but it's not the greatest wedge in the world. But still, as long as we stay above the blue area, the sentiment is kind of positive. Cable, yes, we can see that the cable is going down very sharply. They respect Fibonacci very much. As we can see, after making those highs in 20th of September, we managed to bounce from 23.6. 38.2 was not so respected, but 50% was. Currently 50% Fibonacci will be the closest resistance. Price is still in a wedge, is trying to defend the lower line of the wedge, but it's not very promising, right? The selling pressure here is very high. And I think that the buy signal is no longer on the table, right? Obviously, we are above this lower line of the channel up formation. That is not really a false breakout, so it shouldn't be like a strong reversal signal. So let me remove this line, but what I would like to show is, for example, the correction equality pattern, because I think we can look at this one, just a different color. Let it be this one. Okay, a bit longer. Was that the same? Almost. Okay. So if we will use, for example, not this one, but this one, okay, so we are exactly here, and that correction was a bit bigger, but anyway, 3 almost the same corrections in a row. So actually that is kind of a good place for a reversal, especially that we do have a support here and here. So a bullish price action here can be an interesting occasion to go long. Maybe this color is not good for this situation here. Yeah, this one is better. So that can be quite interesting support here for cable, right? We do have this correction equality pattern, lower line of the wedge, but the main support is the trend line. So as long as we stay above the trend line, the sentiment is still positive, but there is no buy signal. Gold is interesting because American dollar is generally stronger right now. It's much stronger, but despite the stronger American dollar, gold is heading higher. Why the gold is heading higher is bounce from 38.2 of the long-term uptrend. It's always a very important area. It was also strengthened by this stop from the beginning of August, which was later support at 15 and 16th of August, right? So we do see a price action here, a bullish price action. Also, we are inside of the wedge formation, and we are actually bouncing from the lower line of the wedge. To be precise, it should be like that, or maybe use this one here, right? Lower line of the wedge. We can see a bullish price action here. No buy signal. Though, because buy signal will be created once the 50% Fibonacci level will be broken and the upper line of the wedge, because it was relevant, as you can see here, here. So the price made the first step for a bullish signal, right? But the buy signal will be created once we will break 50% Fibonacci level. So only here the buy signal will be created. So far we don't have any. We do have potentially a nice trading opportunity, but what we need to see is a buy signal here. That's what I was talking about when I said about the stronger dollar, because that's a dollar index, and what we have on dollar index is the price which started to make higher highs and higher lows. That started when the price created this inverse head and shoulder formation, so left shoulder, head and right shoulder. So we broke the downtrend line, we broke the neckline. This is the left shoulder, head and right shoulder, right? Left head, right shoulder. The price is respecting Fibonacci levels. 23.6 was respected, then the price went higher, 38.2 was respected. Here that was a false breakout, but false breakout usually should trigger a nice sell signal, but as we can see, there is a buying pressure, still a buying pressure. So the chances for a breakout of this level are very, very high, and the first potential target would be here, this orange area, which is created by this price action here and also those tops here. And in my opinion, price getting there, we do have quite decent chances that the price will get there, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if the price would get there. There is a potentially very interesting trading opportunity on British pound to Japanese yen, because, well, the current situation is very bearish, right? First of all, that's a head and shoulder formation, left shoulder, head and right shoulder. But buyers could have hope because there was a wedge formation, those black lines. But wedge got denied here, right? And the price broke the lower line of the wedge and is aiming very important horizontal support. Why is it very important? We will be able to see that on a daily chart. It is important because it's 38.2 Fibonacci level of this upswing, but at the same time, it's a very important horizontal support created by those tops from December, from May, and from July. But don't take this support for granted, because the price can easily break it. Just get there and break it. But you can think about buying here once we will see a bullish price action here. So far it's hard to estimate if we will see one, but potentially that can be a good buying opportunity if the price will create like a hammer there or a bullish engulfing. That's when we can think about buying on this instrument. So far no, but the price is reaching potentially very interesting place to go long. Well, in the meantime, when we were in Southeast Asia, the price, the stocks were making all-time highs, which is not a surprise because we should get used to that. Funny thing though, because our last analysis, I think for investing, was created here for DAX, and we said that the price is now in a bullish trend and the price should advance higher, and that's what is happening. We have almost all bullish days. here. So that was our good anticipation about the DAX. And currently we are on all-time highs. We were on all-time highs yesterday. So it all looks good for S&P for the DAX. Let me show you also silver. Silver is not using Fibonacci to bounce, but is using this horizontal support to create a reversal. That's a double bottom formation, but double bottom formation will create a buy signal once we will break this gray resistance, because this gray resistance in the same time is the neckline of the double bottom formation. What we also can see here is an upper line of the wedge. So we need to break 38.2 upper line of the wedge and the neckline of this double bottom formation to create a buy signal. But potentially it looks good, but we need to see the price on this checkpoint for the buy signal to be created. So no buy signal so far. Bitcoin is interesting because, well, it's still coming higher, right? It's in a positive territory. We had this bull trap here. But a bull trap will be a bull trap only when we'll see a further decline here. So the stage, well, currently we're seeing the stage called return to normal, which should end the upswing soon, and we should see a decline. But as you can see, Bitcoin is doing good. They do not care about China anymore. Bitcoin is just going higher and higher and higher. I would like to show you American dollar to Mexican peso because there is a very interesting situation there. We broke the upper line of the symmetric triangle and we were warning about that, and we are talking about that for a long time. That breakout of the upper line of this symmetric triangle should trigger us a buy signal, and actually did, and luckily we traded that, yes, because we are talking about that for a long time. So it would be a pity if we saw this and we wouldn't trade it. We did. I think I opened a position here, I closed it somewhere here, so that was a very decent trade. Currently, well, I closed that because the price aimed for the resistance, right? So we can clearly see that that's a strong resistance here, and it's with us since May 2016. And the price on this resistance is we can see it works, right? On a daily chart, we do have a shooting star, actually one shooting star, a second one, and the third one. That's a quite interesting situation here because we have a shooting star bullish candlestick, shooting star bullish candlestick, and a shooting star again. So the price is pushing higher, but in the same time the resistance is very strong, right? Two things. Well, first of all, I think I can adjust this resistance for the latest situation here, because what I would like to show you is that we do have both here. So we do have this head and shoulder pattern, left shoulder, head, and right shoulder, and the neckline is this blue. So a breakout of the lower line of the neckline should trigger a sell signal. And at the same time, we do have an ascending triangle. This is ascending triangle and an uptrend. An ascending triangle in an uptrend should trigger a buy signal. So you may think, okay, it's getting complicated, but it's not. The thing is that you're a trader and you can go both ways, and it means that a breakout of the resistance here should trigger a buy signal for you and you can buy. And the breakout of the lower line here should trigger a sell signal because it will activate the head and shoulder formation. Breakout of the upper line will activate the ascending triangle formation, and breakout of the blue line should trigger the head and shoulder formation. Right, so that's what you should do. Well, you should do. You shouldn't do anything, but you can do. You possibly can do if you want and if you believe in the technical analysis. WTI, oil made new highs recently, a few days ago, but since that the price is just going lower. I think the price should aim the uptrend line here, and that will be the test of the bullish sentiment. If the price will break this line, that will be a strong sell signal. American dollar to Swiss franc. I wanted to show you a longer time frame here, because what we are having here is well, we are bouncing from the downtrend line here, and also 38.2 Fibonacci level, which is very important to resistance here and here and here. So far, this resistance worked here, worked here, worked here, and that's the third attempt in the last few weeks, in the last few days actually, where we're trying to break this resistance. And a breakout, the price setting new local highs above those highs from the 3rd of October should trigger a buy signal. So far, as long as we stay below, that's a good trading opportunity to go short. But watch out for that, because there is a chance that the price will break this level, and a price going there should trigger a buy signal. British pound, Australian dollar, what I'm seeing here is a symmetric triangle, almost the same as on American dollar to Mexican peso. So we will have a potentially nice trading opportunity here as well, but it won't happen soon because it's a daily chart and we are exactly in the middle of this formation. So probably it will take like few weeks to break this level. So it won't happen soon. But as with American dollar to Mexican peso, it is worth watching this instrument, having it on your list, because potentially we can have a nice trading opportunity here. So far we are bouncing from the mid-term resistance, and there's negative sentiment here. American dollar to Polish zloty, what is happening here? Finally, maybe we'll have an end of the downtrend here, which is happening from December 2016. American dollar lost a lot. Polish zloty became much stronger. And as you can see, the thing that we stopped here is not a coincidence, because it's this support, and also it's 23.6. So it's not a coincidence that we stopped here on a trend line, on that resistance, and on 23.6. Breakout here can be a very good buy signal, and obviously the next target should be the 38.2, which is like a natural target for this movement. It looks promising, right? But for that we need to see the breakout of this resistance. American dollar, Australian dollar to American dollar, here we can see this negative reaction after this retail sales. I was positive on this instrument. Why? Because we were bouncing off the 38.2 twice using hammers here, and here. And we had a nice upswing after that. So I thought that that's a legitimate buy signal, because the price showed us buying pressure and we are aiming higher. But the retail data came and messed with this plan. But anyway, as long as we stay above this first orange area, the sentiment is still positive. There is a good situation on Australian dollar to New Zealand dollar, but it's also a long-term situation. As you can see, that's a symmetric triangle, but the breakout of either one of uptrend line or downtrend line can give us a trend like this one. Right? We can actually see a trend like this one, possibly, if we will have a breakout of the upper line here. But as with triangles, it is very often like that after the breakout of the line, we will have to deal with the horizontal resistance. The same goes with the horizontal support. If we will break, for example, lower line of the symmetric triangle, we will have to deal with that. So it's always the case with the symmetric triangles, almost always the case. So watch out if you want to enter this trade too early. American dollar to ruble, we are not covering this instrument much, but I spotted a nice trading opportunity here. So what's that? We had a bullish correction here, which ended with the head and shoulder pattern, left shoulder, head and right shoulder. We broke the neckline, which caused a decline, and we saw flag. Those black lines is a flag, are a flag. Flag is a trend continuation pattern. The trend before creating this flag was bearish. So actually I was waiting for a breakout of the lower line of the flag, and it happened. It happened today. So this downswing from the very morning of the European session triggers a sell signal on American dollar to Russian ruble, and the first potential target is this blue line here, which is a long-term support. So that creates kind of interesting trading opportunity, because on the hourly chart, if we'll see maybe a little bit closer, selling here, for example, stop loss here. Okay, selling here, stop loss here, 30 pips and potentially 50 pips. Okay, it's not the best trade in terms of risk to reward ratio, but it's still interesting because it's very technical. British pound to Swiss franc, that is a good one. That is a good one. I like the setup. So we do have a downtrend. After the downtrend, the price created a beautiful flag. The flag ended on 38.2 Fibonacci level of this downswing, and also 38.2 was in line with resistance here, here, and here. So that was a very strong support, resistance created by 38.2, upper line of the flag, and those resistance created by latest tops. We actually saw a price action here. The price created what? A head and shoulder pattern, left shoulder, head and right shoulder. We broke the neckline. We also broke this horizontal support here, 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 and currently we are using that as a resistance. Okay, we can say that we also had a pennant here, and we broke the lower line of the pennant, and from that the price should aim lower. Don't forget about this line. Let me just use the other color, because yes, it looks promising, but at the same time, if we will have something like that, that is still a flag. So price actually coming back here should be a buy signal. As long as we stay below the checkpoint, there is still a sell signal, and that's a good trading opportunity. That's a decent trading opportunity to go short. And I think that from all of the instruments, that looks like the best one. That looks like the best situation to enter. Yes, I do think that. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching Daily Analytical Report. I hope you enjoyed that after the break. Some nice training setups. We'll see each other tomorrow. We will watch the non-farm payrolls live. And if you want more trading occasions and articles, analysis, recordings, you should go to our Twitter account and our website, outparty.news. Thanks very much, and see you tomorrow.